Today we have international celebrity photographer and reality star Indrani Pal Chaudhuri to speak to us today about her Bravo series Double Exposure, but more importantly, her charity work in India. Welcome to Darshan, Indrani.
Thank you so much.
You have been a model since the age of 15 years old.
That's right, 14.
And 14 years old, and you've been traveling the world as a model, so you're in front of the camera and then you move behind the camera as a photographer, but you always are brought back to India, and you've started a school in India. Tell us a little bit about that program.
Well, I left India as a little girl, and when I was a child I thought everything was wonderful and perfect. I came back at 18 and I saw the poverty and the suffering everywhere, and I was completely blown away by it, and I said I want to do something to help. And I saved up money as a model. I earned, you know,
very good money, I'm guessing.
Very good money traveling the world, and I saved it up and I created a school in India. I founded it, and I got my poor father to move back there. He'd retired, and so he went back to India to run the school. And it's really been the core of my life. It's been the thing that grounds me, and I'm so grateful to all these wonderful children. I can be part of their lives.
Now, your father runs the school, so is he the headmaster? What role does he actually take in the program?
He's like the president of the school. You know, he's on the board of trustees, and he oversees everything. He inspires all the teachers. He does some singing classes and things like that. But he's a chartered accountant, so he's not a teacher at all. But he ended up marrying the headmistress a couple of years ago.
Oh, really?
After 10 years of working together and having 300 children together, they got married.
That's wonderful. Now, you, like we said, have been a model, and people, I think that models are dumb, for lack of a better term, that they're human hangers and they walk down the runway. But you really are a very educated young lady. Tell us about how important education is to your life.
Education is hugely important, and I've been so fortunate. I went to Princeton and I was able to study anthropology there, and I've had so many opportunities because of having a good education as a child. And the women that I meet in India and the children, you know, we have 300 kids at the school. They're mostly from refugee families or just very poor, and they have absolutely no opportunities in life. They typically go work in the fields or in the factories, and they're, you know, getting them to come to the school is a big sacrifice for their families because they depend on that income. So my father actually went door to door to convince families to let one child become literate. And so these are typically the first child or the first person in their family to learn how to read and write. And it's making a huge difference because they go home after school, they teach their siblings, they teach their parents, and so, you know, it helps in every level. The health is improving dramatically of those families. They're able to choose to have smaller families, and more importantly, those kids actually are coming back to teach others. So many of the students who've graduated have become teachers. And it's really beautiful to see the cycle of positivity growing. And then we also have literacy classes for women as well, because we realize that you can't just raise up a group of children. You need an infrastructure. And the women are amazing. With just a little bit of training, you know, we give vocational training as well. And so with a little bit of opportunity, they're making huge changes in their lives and in the lives of the people around them.
And the school has a website. It's cschool.org. What does C stand for?
It's Shakti Empowerment Education. And really our whole philosophy is about empowering people, giving them the tools that they need to be able to not only take care of themselves, but to help others around them. And that's the whole impetus for the school. We have kids of different religions. Everyone is equal and coming together to help each other to grow.
And we were talking about the women, the mothers in these families who you're giving an opportunity to. You're also giving microloans to them as well. So where does that money come from, and what does it go towards in these families?
Well, it started out with me just using my earnings, but then, of course, now we're doing much more fundraising. And so people are contributing. Even $20 goes so far to change someone's whole life. Because
tell us how.
Well, what happens is that in these rural areas, everything is very inexpensive. So you can buy a lot of books for $20, for example. Those books then stay. You know, it's not like here where everything gets thrown away. You have many classes of children using the same books over and over again. And just having access to being able to learn to read is hugely important. So we have a lending library. We have a homeopathic clinic as well, because a lot of people have ailments that prevent them from being able to learn. The children also are given lunches because, again, malnourished children can't learn. So we had to do that. And so every little bit kind of helps. And we're really trying to help in a global way, because we realize if you just do one thing without the other support systems, it all falls apart.
How long have you been doing this program? And was it sort of a calling that you felt with your work that is so visual and with celebrities who, again, I think the preconception from those of us who read the magazines and the glossy magazines are, this is great, this is a lot of money, but was this sort of a calling that you felt to do something good?
Absolutely. I mean, I felt for my own sanity that I needed to do something that was really giving back and helping to make the world a better place, because while I create beautiful images and I think that they make the world more beautiful, I also recognize that it's extremely shallow and superficial what we're dealing with, and art, always is. It's the essence of things, but it's not really something that it can be transformative, but it's not as transformative as an education can be for a child. So I really wanted to do something tangible and real, as well as doing the artwork that I love.
Well, let's talk a little bit about that artwork, because it is fun, and art does imitate life. So tell us some of the celebrities that you've worked with, and what exactly you do with them to create these iconic images.
Well, it's very important for me to figure out what someone is all about. My images, when I create them, I really focus on the personality, what makes each individual unique, what their divine spark is. Now, I spend a lot of time studying meditation and Indian philosophy, Vedanta specifically. I study Sanskrit at Princeton. So it's really important for me to try to bring out that quality that makes someone extraordinary. And everyone has something, whether it's a celebrity or just a